President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the Petroleum Industry Bill 2021 into law, working from home in a 5 days quarantine as required by the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 after returning from London on Friday, August 13. The President assented to the bill today in his determination to fulfill his constitutional duty. The ceremonial part of the new legislation will be done on Wednesday after the days of mandatory isolation would have been fulfilled. The Petroleum Industry Act provides legal, governance, regulatory and fiscal framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry, the development of host communities and related matters. The Senate had passed the bill on July 15th, while the House of Representatives did same on July 16th this year, thus ending a long wait since early 2000s and notching another high for the Buhari administration.
Now, we're being joined by Dr. Diran Fawibe, who retired as a management level director from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, and he is the group chairman and chief executive officer of International Energy Services Limited. He now joins us to share his view on this development. Dr. Fawibe, it's good to have you join us. Now, this is the bill that many would have maybe framed as the dinosaur bill, been in the works since the 2000s, and some said has defied several houses of legislature, and it was signed given the presidential assent today. Are you in celebratory mode?
Well, certainly so, because on a personal note, I had gone to National Assembly on 2 occasions, both at the Senate Committee and House of Rep Committee, to make presentation, and nothing came out of that endeavor. So the President, President Buhari, and the National Assembly, the next session, must be congratulated, for taking this bold initiative. And at last, the bill is now a law, Nigeria Petroleum Act 2021, and Nigeria could now feel a sense of relief that after several attempts, especially since 2008, 2009, 2012, and 2019, the bill has now become law. Yes, there could be some misgiving in certain quarters about the provisions of the law. But as you know, in every country, there is no perfect law. And we should look at the positives of this law and then take it from there. It's unfortunate that the bill had not been passed into law several years ago when the oil and gas industry was crying for investment, and Nigeria lost a lot of investment as a result of the uncertainty surrounding the non-passage of the bill. But now we should look at the positive aspect of the law and then make the good out of the law in order to promote the economy of Nigeria. There is absolutely no doubt that the law will have positive effect, positive impact on the Nigerian economy, not just the petroleum industry, which currently gives about 90% of foreign exchange earnings to the country and about 60% of total income. So the industry operators and stakeholders, and indeed Nigerians, must be happy that at last the bill has become law and the President has fulfilled his commitment to make this a law in 2021.
Indeed, better late than never, and Nigeria is in congratulatory mood at this point. But speaking about those positives, I wonder if you could speak to specifics. What are your expectations and the impact in the immediate that you expect to see from the signage of this law?
Now, in the first place, we'll be talking about the uncertainty surrounding fiscal regime. Now, the law has now made clarity about the fiscal regime, and in fact, the new law is now coming with some provisions that will make the investors to feel more confident about their investment in Nigeria. Every investor wants to have decent returns on his investment, but more importantly, security of your investment. When there are legislations or legislative provisions that guarantee your investment, obviously any investor will feel relieved. and they will be making effort, to make investments. Secondly, the new law, makes some favorable provisions for investment, especially in the deep water. As we know, Nigeria has a lot of oil and gas reserve in the deep water. And if we would take your mind back to the announcement made by Shell, a couple of days ago, that they want to divest their investment from onshore and shallow waters as a result of so many factors. But they will concentrate majorly on the deep water development. So the new law, actually is more favorable to the deep water development than hitherto. And I believe some major oil companies will take a cue from these IOCs like Chevron, like ExxonMobil, like Total, and so on, because there are many projects that have been waiting, for development in the deep water that the non-passage of the law has actually stifled. So I expect the oil companies, even though they may have some reservation about some of the aspects of the law, but at the same time, it's a positive development. And more importantly, it's coming at a time when we were talking about transition to renewable energy or green energy and so on. It will still have positive effect on the gas development, for the country, because we will not abandon, our natural resource. And for example, currently, Nigeria is producing just about 1.4 million barrels per day, whereas the country has potential to produce as much as 2 million barrels per day. No investment has been taking place over the past few years, and the result of this non-investment is what we are seeing now in terms of our production level, especially at a time when Nigeria needs a lot of revenue for various projects, for infrastructure, for social development in the country. So I'm very happy that the bill has now become law, and I expect the international investors and local investors to be able to take advantage of this and quickly move into action. And the government should now give encouragement in whatever area is needed so that they can take advantage of the provisions of the new law to make investment for the benefit of our country.
Okay, well, thank you. As we continue to look at the low-hanging fruits that can be picked off this tree of the Petroleum Industry Act, some might say, and I don't want to dampen your enthusiasm, that the horse may have bolted with regards to foreign investment, since you could translate the Shell bailout of onshore investments as a sign that they're wary of over-litigation, but time will tell. How does this bill address pressing issues like subsidy removal and even refinery issues?
Now, that is aspect of the law that we will now have to look at very closely. The law will deal with the issue of fiscal regime, like I said, and we also talk about some administration of the bill, of the law, and also the issue of governance. Now, if we are able to, let me say this, point blank, until we have an investment in the downstream sector, some people may disagree with this, but we need investment in the downstream sector, not just the refineries, but some other facilities, pipelines, depots, and so on, to move products from one location to the other. Like, for example, if Dangote refinery comes on stream today, now, do we have enough facilities to be able to move the product from Lagos, where the refinery is sited, to the other parts of the country with a view to providing sufficient products for every nook and corner of this country? Now, we need to have depots. We need to have safe pipelines that will not be where we can easily talk to communities to ensure safety of those pipelines in their own interest. But the provision of the law must be able to guarantee investment in these areas. Apart from, and then the only way we can remove subsidy is when we are refining crude locally and distributing the crude to different parts of the country, so that there will be no need for importation. It's the importation of petroleum products that breeds subsidy. And it's a scandalous thing, but if the NNPC fulfills its commitment to rehabilitate the existing refineries, if altogether in the country to come next year, we are able to produce, refine about 1 million barrels per day of oil in the country, you can bet it that there will be no need for importation and there will be no need for subsidy. So the provision of the law.
To leave it. Thank you so much, Dr. Fawibe, energy expert on the petroleum industry law of Nigeria.